Hello, welcome to this match in the small game semifinals between Derpeon and Ngober and Ngober, I'm going to say. I'm joined by H-Roll.
Hey, how's it going?
And I am Shanahan. We are in a first to 2.5 win situation. If game 5 is a tie, we'll have a tiebreaker.
What if game five's not a tie, but it's a tie after game five? Is that the same or
I believe so, yes.
okay?
The rules were not that explicit, but I assume it meant
Okay.
if it was that clear. I don't expect we're going to get a lot of ties. But you never know. Sometimes I had a league match once with 3 ties in 6 games.
That's crazy.
So there's definitely trashing. Like Citadel seems pretty strong as always. Although the cards you want to be playing twice are like Sacred Grove. So I guess Nobles is nice to play with Citadel.
You'll use it as a village, to be honest.
Yeah. Artificer twice is not terrible. Mill twice is not terrible.
So my big question here is do you really build or do you go like mill swash and money-ish? I don't know.
I think you can build a pretty decent amount with Sacred Grove for plus buy. The plus action's a little bit weak, but if you get Citadel, you can play Artificer twice. Grave Robber is a very complicated card, so I don't really expect to see that in play. But
Artificer Scholar.
yeah, that's not nothing, especially if you Citadel the Artificer to get that extra card. You can discard to gain a 4 cost, and then play a Scholar to draw 7 back.
It's just the villages are so hard to come by. They cost 6 or 8, I guess. But
or 4, but you can't buy them because they're spirits. I like the lone opening. I think I want to get in.
Oh, you're right. There's one haunt.
Okay. If you happen to hit your haunted mirror, well, whatever. It's not the end of the world. I'll be interested to see if they go for Nobles already. It does feel a touch early for Nobles, but you're not going to hit 6 that often. So I think I don't like opening silver and loan together because then I feel like the loan is always going to be silver. But with mill, you can do nice things like make sure you're discarding coppers if you get to the end of a shuffle if you're drawing close to deck.
Yeah, that's one of the bigger problems with loan is it stops working when you draw deck, but mill gets around that.
Mill also works nicely with Scholar in that respect. You can get a lot of payload there. That being said,
like the plus buy is hard to come. I don't know. Everything's a little suboptimal, right?
The engine is hard to build. I'll say for sure. The mill swashbuckler thing is certainly more fun. Probably more fun to play for the first 12 turns. The engine, of course, is fun once you get to turn like 13 or 14 and you're drawing deck and doing all sorts of cool stuff. But it may even take longer than that. In the meantime, the mill swashbuckler decks just added a bunch of golds and is happily taking a province a turn.
Yeah. I mean, I can't see myself building past a province a turn.
I don't know.
Even if I built a lot.
With the mills and the scholars, like you can gain and play mills and nobles and even like cemeteries. There's enough alt VP that even if one player gets 6 provinces, the other player could catch up. But I think it looks like they're both going for more money strategy, at least at the beginning here.
Yeah. I see 4 mills already taken. Does mill and mull just work? I know you need so many.
You've got a cemetery trash at some point, right?
Yeah, I would.
And
wow, that's the money.
Skip over 2 estates. We'll see if they get a second swashbuckler now. Derpeon seems to be going more. I was going to say going more clearly for the money, but then they just bought a nobles. They both appear to be mixing, which can be a decent strategy, but it's tough here. Then you're playing your swashbuckler, you're drawing actions dead as opposed to drawing, just drawing treasures, which you would have in the more pure money deck.
Another 6 here.
Yeah, I wonder how one ever hits 8 with these decks until you start adding in like the significant payload. Like if your goal was really to hit 8 to get Citadel, would you even consider buying a gold or a Grove?
If you want to hit 8 and you have mills, all you need to do is add the draw to your deck. I think it's fine. Oh, they already have a gold. Ooh. Oh, they didn't buy another noble. They bought a gold on 27. So
Yeah,
here they are. Not lucky.
close. This is nice.
That works. That's not bad at all. Yeah.
I think that was not perfectly. They could not have lined that up exactly, but it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
We'll see. I assume this is. There's not really great stuff to discard for.
I would discard just to activate Swashbuckler, but I don't know.
Discard 3 to get a silver or something.
You could even discard 1 and not take anything. Discard any number of cards, you may gain a card.
Oh, that's true.
I would have just discarded a state.
That's a weird corner interaction that they may not have realized, as I did not realize it either. So Swashbuckler is an answer to how you could Swashbuckler coffers is an answer to how you could get to Citadel. Like if they discarded that estate to the Artificer, they would actually have 8 now, right?
No, because they discarded it to mill, I believe. So.
Oh, they needed it to discard the mill anyways.
Yeah, but they had extra money, so it would have been better as a coffer for next turn. Is it if they 4/7 chance of hitting the gold on this nobles, and then that would be 8, or sorry, 3/7. Right. Bad.
And probably they're not going to hit 3 coppers. That's even less likely. If they even
yeah, there's a ghost left there, a swashy.
Oh, but finding the ghost is really nice too. I would not
that's
play
all right.
Alone.
Ooh.
Tracking the deck. You tracked the deck before I did, but that's the spot where if you're thinking what's at the bottom of my deck, you'd be like, oh, my ghost and my gold are down there. And a swashbuckler, right? So this loan is only likely to do bad things to me. And I don't know if that ends up being like a significant mistake or if that's just
I mean, ghost is like another way to hit 8.
If you go swashbuckler, you're almost certainly hitting 8, right? And or nobles, and even with mill, you've got a good chance.
Even mill is decently likely. Yeah.
And the reason, I mean, like Citadel, why is Throne Room a good card? But Citadel's like that, except you don't have to have the Throne Room in the card.
Yeah, I like the cemetery.
Oh, very nice. So they were able to get the cemetery, get a ghost, and trash 2 estates, which is excellent. I think both these decks, something you could do is just like open Silver Mill and then get a Swashbuckler and just kind of do terminal draw into cemetery. Instead of getting the nobles on those 6s via cemetery and trash 2 or 3. I really prioritize trashing in a kingdom like this, where like you want to be able to get deck control, so you can for example, line up what you're going to Citadel. So nice. They took the Citadel and they double play the noble, and they didn't, I think, even trigger a bad shuffle either. I think that shuffle worked out nicely.
It was a really bad shuffle, except or it was very bad cards on tops, but then the ghost discarded it. Everything, right? Like the top of their deck was 2 estates and 2 coppers. But then they shuffled out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still worth it because you can always play it for cards twice if you need to.
Oh, so no, I meant
you always play cards.
I meant like their loan gave them a really bad shuffle, but then like the ghost ungave them the bad shuffle. Yeah, so it was very fortunate.
Minor thing here, you should always play the draw first in that situation, just in case.
Yes.
I mean, like, I realize it doesn't actually matter, but in this case, it probably doesn't matter because they're playing it 3 times with the ghost.
Oh, yeah, because the Citadel, the first time you play it from the ghost, it will activate the Citadel, so it's kind of like
there's no way to activate Swashbuckler on such turns, but
I think no, they've. Maybe there's.
So I think now you should strongly consider cemeterying and trashing. All 4 of those cards, Loan and 3 Estates. They went with an Artificer. Uh, I feel like anytime you can get 4 trashes out of a cemetery, it's really good.
Yeah.
As sometimes you have to do like 2 or 3 a couple times, but if you can get 4 and get all your estates gone, then your deck feels really good.
Yeah, I would have. The Artificer is like, it also helps you build. I don't know if, like, maybe they can only really draw deck on ghost turns, though, so maybe the Cemetery was better.
Yeah, I think removing 4 cards certainly will help the drawing deck, but yeah, this is
Right, but it was like a single buy deck at that point, so
yeah. So
maybe it's better to add the gains.
Ngober is going for more money stuff. I think going where the decks are now, just going for the adding some more nobles and then sacred groves and trying to trash out basically all the treasures except for maybe a gold or 2. You end up with a couple coppers left over probably. But
yeah.
Derpeon's already seeing the value to that Citadel. They get a free village effect this turn. And are pretty immediately able to make use of it. They can't even top deck something with Artificer if they want to ghost it. So play Artificer and discard. They can top deck like a mill in order to ghost a mill, or they could even discard the gold and top deck a Swashbuckler probably. That will give them overdraw, and then they can discard with Artificer to gain things mid-turn. But gaining the mill and the nobles also seems good.
I think the problem is the top of the deck was 4 bad cards again, so I think they were supposed to. I'm not sure what the right there is.
With triple playing a mill at the beginning of the turn, 4 bad cards at least become money that they can play.
Oh yeah, no, you can play the first in discard, and then the second as mull when like your whole hand is 5 bad cards. Then it's
or play the second as discard 2, and then third is mull.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you do get 3. I forgot about the getting 3 part. Yeah.
So Ngober seems a little bit behind. The Citadel, I think, is the big thing they need to prioritize getting here.
Yes, it looks like they did not want it.
Yeah,
actually, there's 7 money in their hand.
Yeah, playing the nobles as village and then drawing with the Swashbuckler guarantees it.
Yes, and do it before the Artificer for the
in case you want to artifice something. Artifice. Artificate. Art of War.
Oh, the shovels.
Yeah, that is probably. Probably should have discarded Cemetery Artificer there and just bought Citadel. Should have didn't. Yeah, just bought Citadel there. I think their next turn is going to be mostly sad. They have thinned some amount of coppers, but I think they still have 3 or 4.
There should be a loan there,
and an estate possibly too.
No, I think they trashed 2 estates.
Yeah, that's right.
But there's a loan, 2 coppers.
One advantage is, sometimes Citadel kind of gets expensive. You're like, oh, I should get a province, but when you've seen your opponent get it already and do good stuff with it, it makes it. It also, like, I can see, like, they're like, oh, they have a ghost this turn, and then the next turn when they get the Citadel effect, it's like, oh crap, they're getting this awesome effect. So, as I said, I think they should have mulled the. They made the same mistake you did when describing it. I think you want to mull it a third time.
It's fine to get a 4-card hand. Like,
yeah, okay. I guess you could mull once, and then if your next hand is complete garbage, you can mull again. Which is the advantage of getting the mull the second time.
All right, last. Take a nobles. Okay.
Nobles. So don't draw on here. Well, some of the draws are going to be nice.
They can loan. They can.
If they didn't draw the loan or the mill,
Yeah.
they were just going to have, at least they have the mill on top to mull. And they go for the province. I think the way this game is playing out, that makes sense to me. I would want to add like one Sacred Grove just so I could continue to get like Province Mill in a turn or Province Artificer or like two of those things.
Yeah. The Artificer is already letting you do that. The Grove is more efficient, but I think.
Yeah. So Derpeon was in the Guava group, and they won 12 games in their 5-player group. And Ngober was in the Dragon Fruit group, and they won 11 games in their 5-player group. So quite close.
Yeah. And how many games total do you play? 4 per each person? Or?
Well, there's 5 players, and there are 36 games played. So that would be 9 matches of 4 games each.
Oh, okay.
That math.
Oh, it's treasure chest time. But yeah, I was. Okay.
I believe they're 4-game matches. I have the standings up here. I can just pull up. Yeah, each player played 4 4-game matches. So each player had 16 games.
I see.
And the final game, the winner of this match will play Roro in the finals. So
this is looking pretty dire for Ngober here. I don't know. Derpeon should be able to hit Province like the next at least 2 turns and probably 3 turns.
There's even a possibility of a double Province with.
Oh yeah, they just hit a Noble's Ghost, so they could play for 3 cards.
Then discard
like 3 times. Yeah. And there's the Artificer in hand. Yeah, that's a double Province.
I want to hit like Sacred Grove with that Ghost at some point and get the 9 points and 4 buys, but it's going to be like Mountain's Gift,
Wind's Gift.
Wind's Gift. And at this point, Swamp's Gift is not that good. Wind's Gift is probably okay at the start of a turn.
Yeah. Okay.
But so here, and we do see Ngober has picked up the Storeroom, which is a nice pickup. Derpeon could actually do the same. Instead of artificing the whole hand, they could artificer a Storeroom, actually, and get mostly the same effect, which is maybe something they should consider doing. Storeroom is a really nice card for these decks. I'm not quite sure what they want to do here. Maybe just pick up a mill?
It feels a little weak. Yeah. How much? Okay, if they don't discard, let's see. So there's
they can double
11, 12 money in their hand. Yeah, they could double. Okay, they're just gonna do it that way.
Yeah, okay. I think that amounts to the same thing. So they can play the Storeroom now. Very important they don't discard for cards.
Agreed.
They discarded to gain the Province, which I think is fine. Yeah, I definitely would have gone Province Mill there.
Yeah, they could have taken a free mill.
Spending 1 coffer for the mill.
No, they had an Artificer that they didn't play, right? Or no,
Storeroom they didn't play. They could have played Storeroom and discarded a Province.
Yeah, for 1 money, then the coffers. Yeah.
So I might as well play the third one as draw.
Yeah, it drew 3 times.
And yeah, they can just discard 8 green cards here and gain a Province at the top, and then draw the rest of their deck. I also like once they're grabbing a Storeroom there. The Storeroom's a little bit easier to coordinate than the the Storm's a little bit easier to coordinate the payload than the Artificer. With the Artificer, you have to find exactly 8 cards. With the Storm, you could discard 6 or 10 or whatever.
There's only going to be 1 province left after this turn.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not quite sure why they drew there.
the loan may save them.
There's also a Nobles down there, but it's going to be quite tough for Ngober to get 19 VP is pretty much out of reach.
Mm-hmm. And Derpeon hit single province.
Yeah, and I believe they have province in hand. Not quite, but close to it.
No, they do. They have 4 coffers, and there's 6 money in their hand right now.
Yeah, there's 7 they discard twice with mill.
Mm.
So Ngober needs to pick up a bunch of duchies here and hope. As we said, like the village effect is somewhat difficult in this kingdom until you get Citadel, and they're seeing that now. Still, the Storm's going to do some amount of work here. They're going to be able to pretty easily hit. I think they can even gain a mill to top and then storeroom. 1, 2. They can't gain mill double duchy here, which is what I would want to do. So. I believe they're only getting to 8 coins with plus the coffer's 9. I think you can argue is Ngober can't win if Derpeon gets another province, so they might as well take a province here. Can you get to province duchy if you discard the 3 coppers or the loan 2 provinces, 2 coppers, you get a duchy, and then
I think so.
I would have saved
it would have worked.
Silver.
Oh. Whoa.
It's just a little late for the trashing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they bottom decked all their nobles and their swashbucklers. So it's just kind of unfortunate, but certainly Derpeon can get to province here. We'll see. We'll see if they're able to get to double. I don't quite see how.
I would just take the single here.
Yeah, knowing you've got good stuff. I mean, you could play the nobles to try to find the ghost.
Oh, works out.
And you have the 8 anyways, so. And the ghost hits the swashbuckler, so yeah. This looks like it's going to be a win in the first one for Derpeon.
Yeah, I don't see taking 22 points.
And as second player too, which is, not as big an advantage I think here, but first player is not as big an advantage here, but it's worth noting.
Mm.
Yeah, I think you just take a duchy here and.
Or maybe suicide province. Nope. All right. No. Seems good. Never surrender.
Yeah. The Artificer
sees 3 swashbucklers get played. Surrender. Surrender.
Play the Artificer, gain and dominate. Or can you do that? I don't think I've ever seen Artificer Colony, but in theory it works.
That sounds so inefficient.
Yeah, well, 5 curses and 6 runes. 5 curses, 5 runes, and a shelter. All right, well, good game to Derpeon. They won the first one. And I will see you in game 2.
Yep.